I want to talk about the male loneliness epidemic, the very idea of it, because I understand one principle. You were never meant to be this alone. I understand that. I truly do. But the world did teach you to mistake starvation for strength. And now that you're collapsing, it's hiding the real crime beneath this phrase. It's not a weather event. It is not an epidemic. This is a 400-year design flaw. I'm about to show you we were wrong. Men weren't starved of love, right? They were robbed of love. They were robbed of themselves. I'm going to tell you what happens to every man. Somebody takes your ability to feel and calls it becoming a man. Somebody takes your need for closeness and renames it weakness. Somebody takes your hunger for connection and replaces it with earning. And then they tell you that a woman is the only place you're allowed to put it all. And then they tell women that they're selfish for not wanting to carry the weight of an entire gender's emotional amputation. That's what they do. But that is not loneliness. By definition, it's not loneliness. It's an identity engineered around exile. And that's the part no man's ready for, because you never lost connection. You never lost connection. You were just never taught how to have any. Not with yourself, not with your father, not with other men, not with your feelings, not with your body, not with grief, not with fear, none of it. None of it, not with tenderness, and definitely not with truth. And the moment that women stop being the emotional life support system that men were trained to depend on, the whole system starts screaming, huh? It did. And men blame women. But listen, I want you to understand this, because you aren't blaming women because they failed you. I just understand. I just want you to sit steady for a second. You're blaming women because if you blame the system, you have to face the fact that the system stole your entire emotional life before you were old enough to address it. Right? Before you were old enough to fight back. You'd have to face the fact that you were not raised, you were hollowed out. You were hollowed out. You have to face the fact that your rage is grief and armor. The fact that your numbness is a childhood tomb. It's a childhood tomb. The fact that everything you call strength was built on the burial of your humanity. There is no male loneliness epidemic. It doesn't exist. There is only a mass unmarked grave of men who died emotionally at 7 years old and kept walking. That's all that's left right now. That's all that's here. So just so you can stay focused, right? If you ever think you're lonely because women changed, you're lonely because the boy inside you was still locked in that room where crying meant punishment and softness meant shame and asking meant humiliation and silence was the only safe language you were allowed to speak. And that's still not loneliness. It's not loneliness, but it is a hostage situation and nobody came for you. Nobody came for you, right? So just to tell you what won't free you. Blaming women will not free you. Mocking softness will not free you. Performing strength will not free you. Being chosen won't free you. Being wanted won't free you. And being needed won't free you. None of those have the key. None of them have the key, because none of those things give back none of those things give back the self you had to sacrifice just to be considered to be a man. Just to be considered as a man, right? So just to be honest with you, right? Men are not lonely because of women. Period. No, men are lonely because masculinity made orphans out of boys and made the orphanhood manhood. And that's the reality. That's the reality, right? We live in the midst of conquered men. Men who were conquered by other men who they don't have the strength to face. That's the reality we live in. And masculinity abandons the new boy every day. Every day. So unless we work harder as men, I'm telling you what story we're going to live through. Yours. That's what your child's going to live through. Your story. Everything that went wrong in it, because you don't know how to fix it. You never got the emotional literacy. You got to lock in. Right? I'm just being honest with you, right? The only way out of the male loneliness epidemic, if you feel like it's something happening to you, is if you lock inward. Only way is coming out. So